It's the last day. My new course, Deeper Worship Lyrics, is out and on sale right now. To celebrate the launch, we've been going through the 10 Commandments of Worship Songwriting, one video per day of great ideas that you can use to make your worship song better. And again, even if you don't buy the course but just followed these 10 rules, your songwriting would improve and your lyrics would be punchier and more powerful. So let's take a look at commandment number 1. All right, yesterday's commandment, number 2, save the important words of your chorus for your chorus. That brings us to commandment number 1. We would all rather behold God's face than behold your past. Remember that when we're writing a worship song for a bunch of people, a corporate worship song, that it should probably have a corporate feel and that it doesn't necessarily have to be your processing, right? We don't find people's processing very interesting. If you want to testify, then we'll give your testimony and that would be wonderful. But we can't handle a huge diet of that every Sunday of one person's experience because then we just end up watching that one person's experience. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't write about that. It means that you shouldn't make that all that we talk about. So let's take a look at worship song topics that don't center on you. First one's a great one. Discover a new aspect of God's character or talk about a new facet of God's character in a new way. There's so many things about God, his loving kindness, his glory, his majesty, his faithfulness, the fact that he's a warrior. All of that could be written about, and it doesn't require talking about you. Fantastic. Another thing that you could do is sing about two seemingly opposing things that are both true. So God is father to us, but he's also mother to us because the idea of mother and father, well, both mother and father are made in God's image. So God is at one point warrior-like, majestic, powerful, and he's also nurturing and a giver, and he takes care of us. Well, you could write a song about those two things. Another way to do it is you could move forward in time. We've talked about this in other commandments, but if you were to start before the cross, after the cross, eternity in each of your verses, you're moving forward in time. You could change locations from verse to verse. So in a song that I wrote about all creation giving God glory, in the first verse, we're worshiping him in the heights. In the second verse, we worship him in the deep. In the third verse, we worship him on the plains. So every time the verse comes up, a new verse, we change locations and people suddenly have something new in their imagination. And again, it doesn't rely on me because we're talking about creation, not my own experience. And lastly, give a history lesson of God's victories. So you'll see this in the Psalms where they will walk through the victories of God, the battles that he fought. He threw down the kings of Bashan, and then everybody responds, his loving kindness is everlasting. So we're giving everybody, not just ourselves, but the spiritual realm. We're saying, hey, these are all the things that God did. And in fact, that was one of the directives that God said, hey, Israelites, as you go about and as I do these wonders in Canaan, make sure that you make altars and then you tell your children about everything that I did. So his commandment was remind your kids what happened here and here and here. Give them a history lesson about my victories. Well, you could do the same thing in a song. And again, it doesn't require you. We would all rather behold God's face than your past. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. And remember, there's much more available in the full course, Deeper Worship Lyrics. But today is the last day that it's on sale before it goes to full price. So click on the link nearby to get access. God bless and goodbye.